So as the panel is making its way to the table and microphones are being checked, I'll begin to kick off this first panel of the day. So I'll start with a couple of thank yous. One, thank you to my co-chair, David Kindig, for reminding us this morning in his comments that as we pursue improved population health, all sectors must be engaged. And I think that gives context to the comments to the entire day very appropriately. Thank you, Ray Baxter, for really raising this issue to, I think, another level. I want to express my gratitude to you because I now think of this differently because of my participation in the Planning Committee with you. In particular, for asking the question of how the private sector, what levers the private sector can pull to improve population health in a very helpful kind of way. And thank you, Ian, for that presentation, the keynote presentation. I think you've made the point, unless I hope I haven't misheard it, but I think you've made the point that the relevant outcomes for business are not just financial gain, but social gain. And I want to summarize it that way. I think you made that point in the Q&A, and I think that's an important point to make. As I was thinking about this panel, I turned to dictionary.com to look at the definition of business, and there are actually 7 or so listed at that particular site. And I think that it's very interesting to kind of think about this. First of all, an occupation, definition 1, an occupation, profession, or trade. For example, his business is poultry farming. And secondly, the second definition, the purchase or sale of goods in an attempt to make a profit, which I think is a conceptual way that we often think about business. The third definition, a person, partnership, or corporation engaged in commerce, manufacturing, or service, profit-seeking enterprise or concern. So those are the first 3 definitions of business. And as I think about value creation myself, and I'm no expert in any of these areas in the 21st century, I think about the fact that what a little bit of this conversation is about is that, like as I was driving around yesterday and it was garbage day, and you see now along the street not only the garbage bin but the recycling bin on every street. This conversation is about changing and enlarging those conventional definitions of business so that certainly it's still about the creation of value both for individuals as well as collective organizations, but it's also about those social values that Ian it reminds us are so important in terms of the outcome. So we're sort of balancing the outcome sort of output sort of business very broadly defined in 21st century value creation. And I think it's important for us to keep that in mind. As I think about this panel, I think we're going to take a step definitely in that direction with the 3 experts we have with us today and the discussions that they're going to present with us. I'm very, very excited about the potential for this panel. So their full bio sketches are included in the meeting materials. Again, I wanted to hold the questions till the end, and we'll take them all at the same time after they've completed their presentations. So we have Larry Solar with us, who's President and CEO of the Partnership for a Healthier America, which works with the private sector and First Lady Michelle Obama to reverse the childhood obesity epidemic. Since 2010, PHA has garnered more than 150 commitments to offer healthier options or increase physical activity with leading brands including Walmart, Nike, and Sodexo. Secondly, we have Mark Weick, who is the Director of Sustainability Office at the Dow Chemical Company. In his role, Mark directs the coordinated planning and implementation of the 2015 sustainability goals, as well as the sustainability integration across the company and the business units. And then thirdly, we have Gary Cohen, who's president and co-founder of Healthcare Without Harm and Practice Green Health. Gary was instrumental in bringing together the NGOs and hospital systems and formed the Healthier Hospitals Initiative. All 3 organizations were created to transform the healthcare sector to be environmentally sustainable and serve as anchor institutions to support environmental health in their communities. So with that in mind, we have a terrific lineup, and let's start on the journey of discovering how business can impact health through these examples on this panel. So we'll start first with Larry.